We still aren't done with the 360, but we will be soon. Hey everybody, this is part 2 of the Thrift Store Xbox 360 cleaning. So today, I'm going to go over a couple of things, what I did to the laser assembly to get everything fixed up. We will see if it finally reads discs or not, reads the Gears of War 2 disc at least. Maybe we'll just talk through a few things. If this is your first time dropping in, welcome. My name is Jacob. I put out a bunch of random stuff. I've got video games, I've got stories that I like to tell. This is just kind of one thing in the bucket for me. So please, look in the channel. There's the hub of many things that we're still working on. In part 1, I cleaned out the console and all of its parts. I determined before and after the cleaning that the optical drive was not reading discs. I ordered a new laser replacement, which came in the day I posted the previous video. Being a little too excited, I went ahead and replaced it. The optical drive on the right is the current console, the left is likely from a first gen 360 and was in a spare parts box. I didn't even know I had it, but I'm happy all the same to replace the laser with a new one, rather than an old laser that I had no way of testing. The replacement came in a little white box and only needed a small bit of desoldering from a ball that is purposefully placed to prevent electrical damage that could occur in transit. Here's what the old and new ones look like. This is the little white box that the laser came in. Here's the old one. And right here on the board is where the ball would have been placed. Now here is the fresh audio of how the console sounds now after the laser replacement. If you watch part 1, you know that the Xbox sounded like it was going to take off from the table. It was so dirty and gunked up with dust. Considering all that was done, I think this is the quietest that it's going to be. Before we get to whether or not the optical drive is reading now, we need to address the controller. I'm going to be using a security driver that came in an Xbox 360 toolkit I got online. It was probably around $10, so if you intend to do something similar, just make sure it's a small security driver that's meant specifically for Xbox 360 controllers. It will look like the one I'm using here. I bought this for $40, from a thrift store. Somebody donated it. Little Yang donated it. If you haven't watched part 1, shout out to Little Yang. This person donated it, and it was being sold for $40. It didn't even have the original cords with it. It had the AV cable, but it didn't have all of the original cords for the power cable, just the brick itself and what goes into the console. But point being, I was able to test this mildly while at the store. I pretty much just plugged it in and I verified very loosely if the console just turned on. I did preliminary checks, but I didn't really get to test it until I got home, in which point I, posted the 2 shorts videos. But I guess where I'm going with this is, I have the capability of opening this thing up, right? I have the tools available, but if I was just some random guy who was wanting to find an Xbox 360 or just found one kind of randomly one day, and I wanted to play some of my old games that I have maybe put in storage, maybe my Xbox doesn't work and I just want to replay my games again, I wouldn't have been able to do that. It didn't read discs. It feels like the thrift store didn't do their due diligence to really test this thing, at least to the point of turning it on and verifying that it doesn't read a disc. I know that they get Xbox 360 games randomly donated, so I know that they could, if they wanted to, have some sort of testing desk. I guess where I'm going with this is, I'm glad that I have the ability to do this, to open it up, and I know a lot of people do, but let's just say some random person was to spend $40 and they get home and they realize it didn't work. That would absolutely suck. So what I plan to do with this Xbox 360 is just give it away. I spent the money, but it got me a good little bit of content, and hey, that's good for you, that's good for me. So we're gonna give this puppy away. Leave a like on this video, a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, share it with your friends. If you show me that you've done all of that, you will have entered into win this Xbox 360 and the controller. I'll even throw in a game. But just do that for me, and you'll get it. I think you will get it. You will get it. You'll get it. You may have seen videos of people using toothpicks and Q-tips to clean the outside of a controller, and that's good enough, really. If you have a dirty controller, you can most certainly do that, especially if the controller works. For our purposes, I'm opening the controller not only to get the most thorough cleaning that I can achieve, this also allows for the caps to be replaced rather than just covered with rubber cap covers. While those are convenient and the damage on these analog sticks could be worse, replacing them with brand new black sticks instead of gray is going to really make it shine. And while I am aware that this particular model of black controller came out during a time in which gray analog sticks were the standard for them, and while it does stand apart from the D-pad and, of course, the other parts of the controller itself, I'd still think that the black analog sticks go really well with the black plastic of the controller. I also found some battery pack replacements, but I have to say I'm disappointed with the color for the white packs. It came with black and white, and unfortunately the white are slightly off, which hardly matters considering this is on a back. But if I had to make a small complaint of any kind, that would be it. And here it is. If you had to guess, would you think that this came from a thrift store? That's the magic of doing this. You take a broken or dirty thing and you restore it to its former glory. Finally, we can sit down and have some fun. Thank you for watching, and come back next time when I inevitably find another console to clean, controller to disassemble, or a story to tell. Alright folks, there you have it. You got a working Xbox 360, and here I am days later editing this video together. It is what it is. But come back next time where we have another 360 to open up, a Slim, and some other stuff to play. Who knows? We'll get into it.